fireplace, do you know how? Piles of paper, my desk is out. Who will care for the world now? Rest with me, close to curtains, brew some herbal tea. Reach out for me, take my hand and lead even when I disagree. Oh, how I love when it rains outside, and it's okay to slow the ride. Discover books I forget about. Who care for the world now? Rest with me, close to curtains.
Well, if you guys can't tell by the opening of this video, we are getting ready for a pretty good sized project. I've been threatening this project for a long time. We're not going to get a lot done in tonight's videos. This is just the introduction to the project, and we're going to be working on this one for a while because I'm going to have to scab parts as I go. So what we are working on is a hydraulic forging press. Looking somewhere in the 28 plus ton range. I've been doing some research. 50 ton isn't really needed. Anyway, I'm going to be doing this one a lot different than what you normally see, and I don't know if I've ever seen one like what I'm going to be building. So we're going to have an H-frame, but on the outside of it, we're actually going to have a second. It's going to be two forge presses in one. So it's going to be two valves. I'm going to try to go for one pump, one tank, two rams, and we're going to see what develops. The center ram is going to be our high-powered one. That we're going to go, I think we're going to go for a 5-inch ram. At minimum 8-inch stroke, maximum 12-inch. Haven't worked out the details yet. For the outside station, we're going to go with probably a 4-inch ram, 3 to 4-inch ram, and that won't be an H-frame. It'll be more look like a wood splitter stood up, but I already have the ram for that. So basically, what we're going to need to do. Now, you guys saw me cutting this. I don't know what steel these I-beams are made out of. They are USA made, which is good, but it's some pretty damn hard steel. My metal cutting circular saw, I've cut 3/4 inch plate with that thing. It just whistles right through it, no problems. This stuff, it does not like it one bit. Now, these were pretty rough. I'm not sure. It came out of a utilities company place. They were throwing it out. So my company ended up taking it back. We were going to get rid of it for them. Anyhow, that's how I ended up with it. But it looks like part of these were set in the ground, possibly where there was some road salt. So that's why you're seeing me cut these down. Plus, I don't quite need the total 12-inch wide I-beam. So I'm going to be cutting one of the feet off of each of the uprights right down through the center web there. We're still leaving a good 8 inches of meat here. The thing with the forge press, it has to be pretty beefy. Otherwise, when you press down, the thing's going to flex. We don't want that, but believe me, by the time we get done building this thing, there shouldn't be any flex to it. This guy right here, we have two 12-inch I-beams, 4 feet long. That will be the top and the bottom of the machine. This is going to be a pretty tall machine, but I'm building it so my rams are up high. So my hydraulic lines and everything will be above the hot metal. Thing with the hydraulic leak, that's really high pressure, and if it sprays a leak, catches fire or something, chances are I'd burn this place to the ground. Not that I've seen that happen too much, but you know, you just you always plan for the worst, hope for the best, and whatever happens, happens. But something I need to do, I need to make this so I can move this thing around, because obviously I'm not going to build this in the forge. We're going to build it out here where we have the most room, the most airspace. I can open the big double doors, get air flowing while I'm welding, things of that nature. But we're going to put some feet on these, a few feet long, and it'll get welded solid to the bottom of this guy. But we're going to make it so they're tall enough so that I can get my pallet jack under it and move this thing around. Now the dangers of moving something like this with a pallet jack, it's top heavy. Top heavy stuff and pallet jacks don't always go very well together. So we're going to have to build this in such a way to where it's safe to move it with a pallet jack, so I'm not putting anybody, probably myself, in danger. We've done that enough here in this shop. So anyway, I have some 4-inch channel iron that I'm going to put on edge underneath here, and that'll allow me to get the pallet jack under it, and then we can move it around wherever we want to. And hopefully by the time we get the hydraulics set up and everything on the bottom of this thing, it'll balance out some of that weight. It's going to be a big, heavy piece of equipment no matter what we do with it, but which is good. I'm looking for more of a production style machine. I don't want something that's I want something that's going to stand up to some really heavy abuse. So I guess for tonight, we'll get the feet mounted on this thing, and I guess we'll go from there. So stay tuned. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch you on the other side of it. All right, let's see how this is going to work with our pallet jack. Not too bad. Every time I'm going to have to get some shims on this side so it matches the other side. I do not want this thing lean in any way, shape, or form while when we move it around. And maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to get another piece of channel iron in the middle. Of course, that I-beam's pretty damn stout. It's a shame that thing sat in salt or underground or whatever the hell they were doing with it. All right, well, here's the official start of our forging press. It's going to be pretty big, I can tell you that, but I think it'll be very handy having a two-station forge press, so I think it'd be neat to set one up so you can punch eyes, things like that, and then you could leave it, and so on and so forth. I am looking forward to having this piece of equipment. I apologize up front, folks. It's going to take me a little while to build this thing just because scraping and scrounging and saving and seeing what I can get for the cost of nothing, because that's just kind of the cheap bastard I am. But this will work. We have a lot of cleanup on this thing to do on this I-beam. This thing was poured into concrete. There's concrete on the backside. I'm going to have to chisel out of there. We're going to have to wire wheel everything, paint the crap out of it, all kinds of good stuff. I am going to have to add a 1/4-inch shim along this one side here so when we pick it with the pallet jack, it doesn't tip in any way, shape, or form. Remember, this thing's going to be pretty top heavy, and the last thing I want is this thing coming over on us while we're moving it. Now, hopefully we're only going to have to move this thing a couple of times to get it where I want it. And chances are, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how stable it is when we get it in place. If I feel the need, I will anchor it to the concrete, but we'll just have to see how top heavy it actually is. Because remember, I'm going to make the hydraulic skid and everything for this right on the bottom of this thing. We're going to come off with a piece of plate. That should help counterbalance quite a bit of the weight. The bottom of this thing, period, is going to be quite heavy, but we're still going to have a lot of weight up high. So next time out, we'll try to get our uprights on here, see how well I can get those on square, and we're just going to plug away at it when we can, and hopefully it doesn't take too awful long, because this is this right here will be a huge production piece for me, so we can really, really get after some stuff. So, I mean, the grinder so far, it upped my speed a lot with the tools. That power hacksaw, that's another time saver. This guy right here will be the ultimate time saver. Rather than being able to forge one tool a night out, we should be able to do multiple tools. We're also going to be building a ribbon burner forge also, just because for me, coming out here at night, getting the coal cranked up, sometimes it's not, I don't get out here till 6 or 7 o'clock some nights to start working on stuff, and that just is a lot of time. It'd be nice just to be able to turn it on and walk away. We do have our gas forge in there. I like it, but it could have been built much better, so we're going to go for something much better. Plus, I need something that will be better on fuel. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you on the next one.